party, I'll promote mine.
What I do want to promote is, when you're talking about, this is the way it is now, it's the way it is now because we choose it. And we choose it in every election cycle.
We choose it in every inaction.
Some of us didn't know some of us are new to this process and we're learning. We did know. So yes, we choose it, but some of us have been kind of, I'm not trying to be a sympathy.
Letting the process choose itself for a long time.
Well, humans have... go to public school.
Human beings, here's one of those things that I don't think that nobody ever gets taught this. And maybe it's kind of a Christian idea that we have a default state. And that default state is not very good. Our default state is oppression, slavery, genocide, and war. That's what you get if you don't fight it.
I hope you're wrong.
Well, no, I got to tell you, there's a lot of things like that. If you don't brush your teeth, they rot. It's the same thing. You have a tendency to go from this level, bam, down to this level unless you got something to hold it up. You have to vigorously do something to oppose that natural degradation that happens over time. Our default state is bad, and we will go there if we don't fight it. That's why there is no record of success in human government. We are looking at 100% failure sooner or later. And so this nation will fall.
And that's what makes me so sad. We're going to go in history like the Roman Empire. I said today, on our last show, Congress, I think I told you all, Congress left, and they're not going to do their job no more. So we're officially a fascist country.
Oh, actually.
Well, now it's in writing.
Mussolini called FDR an admirable fascist. And FDR said, he called Mussolini an admirable man. They kind of liked each other.
Well, I haven't seen it in writing till today.
All right, this nation may be, totally messed up at this point in time. And, probably salvageable if we get off our butts and do something about it. But what about Unigov? We'll be okay here in Indiana because we're going to have Unigov to support us. Isn't that correct?
Kernan Shepherd?
Yes, shuffling more power into fewer hands, that always helps a lot, doesn't it? And that's what this is all about.
Can you explain to us a little bit more about the whole Kernan Shepherd, Unigov situation that we're dealing with here in Indiana?
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons I decided to run for office. I have to say that a lot of things that Mitch has done get, a thumbs up from me. I think that
we believe in several of the things Mitch has done.
As leaders go, he hasn't been bad. He's been one of the best leaders Indiana has had for a long time, and I'm happy to say that. But what hasn't been working is that he's making government bigger. And when you're talking about something like Kernan Shepherd, you get these, Democrats and people known for doing terrible things with judicial rulings, and you put them in charge of a commission whose presupposition is that you're going to shuffle more power into fewer hands. The premise is bad, the conclusions are bad, it's mixed with some good ideas. There's nothing wrong with trying to save money here and there.
And it's not just
Isn't that part of the problem, though? It doesn't save that much money?
That's correct. The fact is that it's going to end up costing us just as much, if not more, than the school consolidation of 1959 did.
Right, it changes, we've talked about it on our show a little bit because we haven't looked at it. It changes how some people are put into office. Some are going to go, if it goes from elected to appointed, which is really, really bad.
Yes.
It not just removes power from several hands and puts it in fewer hands. Actually, at least from what I've read on it, it geographically abandons certain people. Like, you live out in a township, you have a township government. Now you will have a centralized government for a centralized...
And someone like me that's in a small town.
Right.
Well, if you look at the overall trend...
We're taking the power away from the people to elect their own sheriffs. These will be appointed positions now. Any other positions that you know of?
I think the coroner, they want him to be appointed, and it would all be by the mayor, I think, the centralized government.
Yeah, but of course this will all be open to debate when actually it's turned into legislation. The Kernan Shepherd report was not legislation, it was recommendations that are going to be turned into something probably even worse. And if you look at the backdrop of this, Indiana is one of the states that did not oppose Real ID, for instance. We're already in compliance, and we're already implementing NAIS as a mandate when the federal government...
Why is the Real ID bad? They've told us all over the news it's wonderful. And Indiana took it.
It's wonderful.
It's wonderful, so...
Yeah, I guess it's just wonderful. It's going to
solve
lots of problems.
If you don't watch the internet, and you don't watch our show, and you just watch CNN, it's wonderful to them.
With all these cameras, they're taking pictures of license plates, that's going to create more
money
for all
what they're
all
talking
sorts of good government programs.
What kind of gets me is every time you hear about, you know, the IRS loses 1,000 laptops or something like that, or the NSA, you know, unfortunately they find out that these guys have been sucking up all of our cell phone conversations and stuff like that. We were not supposed to find this out. Why is it if we have all of these super top secret organizations, they're so bad at keeping secrets themselves? Why are they leaking?
But the best part is, did you see they're going to outsource to make these cards?
Well, maybe there are some people,
Well, it's global government is where we're headed.
The best part.
Maybe some of these people that are part of these government organizations are actually traitors to these government organizations because they're more oriented towards the people. And then they leak these things, you know, maybe for the grassroots benefits, for the people's benefits, rather than for the organizations that they work inside.
Well, let me go so bold as to say that anybody who violates this contract, anybody who takes an oath to support and defend the constitutions of the United States and Indiana against all enemies, foreign and domestic, if you violate these things and you're using force to do it, you are a traitor. You know, it's not just a criminal.
Oh, I wish I could vote for you. I do.
We can work on that.
Hey, would that be violating?
He doesn't live in the right.
This is Rachel. She's from Ohio, and we'll get her moved into this station. She can vote for you. Moving with you as soon as we can.
We've been down there. That's probably why she's been so quiet. Is she is not an Indiana voter, but I don't know if she has someone that she can vote for along these lines. We're going to be running out of time, so I wanted to recap. So, how did you feel about the debates last night? Did you?
You know, every time I get up there, there's a lot of things I wish I had said, and some things I wish I didn't.